We got 4 late rounds running backs that we're targeting in 2021. Zach, who do you got first?
Yeah, for me, the first sleeper running back I'm targeting is Trey Sermon. Now,
Oh boy.
he's currently going round 8, 9. That's
Around
kind of his
there.
ADP right now, around 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I've said this all offseason, but I don't see Raheem Mostert holding this job any longer than halfway throughout the year.
Right.
They spent a 3rd round pick on Trey Sermon. Raheem Mostert, meanwhile, is 29 years old. He will be 30 years old this time next year. Obviously, that makes sense. But he's an older running back, and he's not getting any younger. Last year, we saw a bunch of injury issues with Raheem Mostert. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you get older, your body takes longer to recover from certain things.
Yep.
Raheem Mostert's definitely getting older.
We know because we're older.
We are getting older. How many starting running backs are over the age of like 25 in the league now? 27 is a better standard. Like there's no 29-year-old starting running backs. It's super rare to see nowadays.
Right.
Raheem's getting older. Trey is the young, fresh legs, as Badaki always says. 1 year left on Raheem's contract. I believe that Raheem Mostert's job is not secure. Yep. And I believe that halfway through the year, we're going to see Trey Sermon take this job. Mm-hmm. Now, even if he has a 60% share by mid-year, that's a very valuable running back in the San Francisco offense. One of the best offensive lines, one of the best offensive lines in Mike Shanahan. For me, I know that people are worried about how many backs are in this backfield, but to me, it's clear that Trey Sermon is the future. Yeah. McKinnon is gone. Tevin Coleman is gone. I don't believe that Wayne Gallman's going to make this roster. I personally feel like he's going to get cut.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But not only could Wayne Gallman get cut, but there's a possibility. It's not likely, but there's a 10% chance that Raheem Mostert could be cut from this team.
Which is absolutely crazy. And I think we spoke about that, in a couple of different podcasts or maybe in the live stream where it's sad because of everything that all the hard work and dedication. I mean, just like any other, it's a business, let's be honest. But Raheem, he put his time and effort. Mm-hmm. I mean, he took his time out. He stayed in the hotel. He was away from his family and he produced. He just got injured.
Last year.
Yeah,
during the pandemic, yeah.
And, like I said, he was on pace to finish, I believe top 5, but more realistically a top 10 type finish. But he was crazy. He was going crazy, man.
He was good, but 1 year, again, another year on his life, another 29 years old. I don't see any scenario where Raheem Mostert holds this RB1 position in this backfield by the end of this season.
Right.
I'm targeting Trey Sermon late as my running back 3 or 4, and I'm pretty confident that there's going to be a lot of value come mid-year.
Yeah, and that's the talk right now. Everyone sees him, getting the starting job maybe mid-year, depending on their record or depending on how the backfield, whoever's leading that backfield at the time is going. Because if Raheem's going and he gets injured, it's clear it's Trey Sermon.
Yeah, and there's a very realistic scenario that, it wouldn't surprise me if Raheem got injured and Jeff Wilson got injured. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a massive workload for Trey Sermon. You talk about handcuffs. This is maybe one of the most valuable handcuffs. Because there's upside and because he could take the job anyway. For me, last thing I'll say is this is a match made in heaven. For any running back to be in this offense, it could have been any running back.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was Trey Sermon for Trey Sermon's sake. It's a match made in heaven. What about you? Who's your first late round sleeper running back?
Yeah, absolutely. My first guy is Javian Hawkins. Okay. He was running back. He was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. He's a backup for Mike Davis. So this might be a deep sleeper. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But let me tell you what Mike Davis did last year. Okay. Obviously, he played with the Carolina Panthers. CMC got hurt. He ran for 165 attempts in total last year. Okay.
Okay.
And my main concern about Mike Davis is that can he withstand, that workload? And I don't think he can. And in reality, if you look back to his workload, he only had technically 2 years where he started a whole season. He did it for Seattle and he did it this past year for Carolina.
Right.
I personally
he's
believe,
not a young guy either. When you think about it.
He's not a young guy. He's 28 years old. This is somebody that he signed a 1-year deal. It was a one-off thing. We were surprised that the Falcons didn't target, a higher running back like a Michael Carter, which you might hear later, or just anyone else in the draft. Honestly, just anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were really surprised about that. But yeah, Javian Hawkins is the next guy up. And the best way I can put this to you is like, look at Todd Gurley's attempts last year. He had 195 attempts. He had 30 more attempts than Mike Davis last year. I don't think Mike Davis, once again, is going to be able to handle 195, rushing attempts. There's no way.
Yeah.
So Javian Hawkins is going to have to come in. And remember, Todd Gurley with the knees, he was weak at the knees all the time. But the Falcons still gave him opportunity. And I think that's where I'm looking here. I'm thinking about opportunity. This is a great dynasty move. And Todd Gurley was phased out by week 10, and he still had 195 attempts. So remember that. So big thing here is that big takeaway. Mike Davis is not going to be able, in my opinion, withstand 195, touches. No way.
Okay.
So Javian,
let me ask you this. So it's funny because we had Mike Davis as a sleeper. Now his ADP's risen, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to really call him a sleeper anymore with how high he's going. So is this like I'm targeting the handcuff strategy?
This is, yes. You know how everyone kind of likes to target Alexander Mattison because you were guaranteed that Dalvin Cook was going to get hurt?
Right.
This is my thought process. Javian Hawkins could be the Alexander Mattison for this year to be the guy. Because if Mike Davis goes down, I mean, we saw the pictures on the internet with him and his freaking quads. They look bigger than Saquon. Wow. Nah.
I mean, he looks bigger than my head. Okay. Javian Hawkins.
Yeah, I just think that he is going to come in and take attempts. And you're
a
going to see
true late round sleeper, probably a guy you would take with your last pick.
Yeah. He could even be undrafted.
Okay. All right, let's talk about Damien Harris. Damien Harris is my second late round sleeper running back I'm targeting. Let's have a look at last year. Last year, he was running back 44, and that might not sound sexy, and it's not. But friendly reminder, he missed weeks 1 to 3 and weeks 15 to 17.
Right.
So if you do the quick math on that, that's 6 weeks. Wow, crazy, right? Let's talk about the weeks that he did play. From weeks 4 to 14, he was the running back 22. Okay, that was sharing time with Sony Michel, James White, and Rex Burkhead. He was a running back 22. That means he was a solidified starter on your team as a flex at the minimum.
Correct.
From those weeks when he played.
Right.
In my opinion, I said this last year and it happened. And I think this year, maybe we see Sony Michel get cut, but if not, he's going to get injured. Sony Michel will either get injured or he's going to be cut before the year. Ramondre Stevenson is the only reason I'm not taking Damien Harris even higher, maybe in the 5th round.
Okay.
Right? I see a lot of value here with Damien Harris. Most importantly to this take, the Patriots are a better team this year. They're a much better team all around. Not only on offense with the additions of Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and a lot of people who opted back in, but also on the defensive end.
Right.
Matt Judon, a bunch of other players that they signed that are kind of role players. When you're better on offense, you're going to score more. When you're better on defense, hopefully you're going to run the ball more.
Right.
I feel like this is a formula for more success for a running back in New England. And my bets are on Damien Harris to be that running back in New England. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year, we're talking about Damien Harris and he's the running back 16 on the year. That's pretty good value for a guy that's typically going in the 8th round right now.
Right.
So for me, Damien Harris is a guy that I'm targeting. I see a lot of upside. Wouldn't be surprised if he finished the year with 8 touchdowns. And we're looking back like, how did this happen?
I remember you being really high on him. That if you go back to our early first year podcast.
That was our second ever podcast, actually.
Yeah, and he was like, Damien Harris, this is the guy.
Yeah, and then he got injured literally the day after we recorded that. So hopefully he doesn't get injured now. Now I'm talking about him again.
Yeah, okay.
All right, who's your last guy here, Badaki?
My last guy is Michael Carter for the New York Jets. Look, we all know who Michael Carter is. Zach and I are, we are extremely high on Michael Carter going into the draft and now into the season. With the addition of Eric Tucker and Mekhi Becton in this offensive line. This offensive line is big and mean. Okay, we know what they can be doing. And with Zach Wilson, okay, and I think the great thing about Michael Carter is his pass catching ability. With Zach Wilson coming in, he's a rookie quarterback. He's going to need to be able to check down and trust somebody, and that's Michael Carter. And there's no worry that Michael Carter is going to get a workload. Tevin Coleman he signed a 1-year deal. This is the future, in my opinion. Michael Carter, LaMichael P. Ryan is irrelevant. Ty Johnson is irrelevant. I see Michael Carter being an all down back coming in into this season, where Tevin Coleman is going to be more of the goal line, bigger guy, kind of punch it in.
See, I've compared Michael Carter to Austin Eckler a bunch of times. So you shouldn't be worried about the lack of goal line touches if he's going to play in Eckler role. And it's right. Like, no one in that backfield has better hands than Michael Carter.
Yeah.
So he should be the guy getting the most pass catches out of that backfield.
Yeah.
Right?
And, we love Michael Carter, and I'm excited about him. I know you're excited about him. Where is he going? Where did he go in this past draft?
You drafted him in this last draft, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yes, you drafted him in the...
No, I didn't.
Oh, that wasn't you who drafted him.
I drafted Javonte Williams.
Oh, he went in the 8th round.
Yeah.
So right after David Johnson, right before Fournette, Kenyon Drake, Trey Sermon, which I think's maybe too high. I think I'd still prefer Sermon and Drake.
Let me ask you this: are you taking?
Oh no, I would take him over Drake.
Let me ask you
this:
that's hard. Are you taking any Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette? Like, I feel like that's where he's landing for me. Like, he's around those guys.
That's a good setting stone to kind of figure out, hey, which of these guys do I want? Yeah. I just don't know that I want to trust Fournette or Jones based off of their ADP.
Yeah, same.
Like, I think I'm avoiding them.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.